All right, so let's jump into feeding the starter. So this is my starter. His name is Glenn. He's actually looking really good. If you look in there, see, you can see that he has bubbles. Bubbles are good. That means he's growing. He's doing strong. So we're gonna feed him. Bubbles also mean he's hungry, so he needs some food. And how you feed him? Flour and water. It's the same amount of flour and water. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. Some people will tell you you need to put your starter in another jar, and that also needs to be, it's like 1-to-1-to-1. So the measurement of starter is the same measurement of flour and water. I don't do that though, and it works fine for me. I just feel like that's not necessary. If you feed him, he's gonna grow. So I usually feed him, so I keep him in this jar. Some people, again, they take him out. Sometimes there's too much in there and I need to take out discard. I'll do a whole different video on discard, but for now, we don't need to. We're keeping it simple. Keep it simple. Okay, so I like to do 1/4 a cup. And basically what I do is I just take my 1/4 cup, and you can use your scale to measure exact, but again, keeping it simple. So I just fill it 1/4 a cup, you know, lightly. And then I just dump her in there. And then I get water. He does prefer like warmer water, like cold water can kind of shock him. So hold on a second while I go get some water. Okay, don't mind my mess back there. Okay, so when you get the water, don't fill it all the way up. So see how I left like a little bit? Because the weight of water is heavier than flour. So even though I filled it all the way up with the flour, putting it not all the way full is actually the right 1-to-1 ratio, which you would see if you use the scale. But again, keeping it simple. So I just don't fill it all the way up. And the water's like room temperature, you know. So then take my starter, I dump it in, and then I use a fork. People on TikTok will be like, don't use aluminum. I don't care. I use a fork because it aerates pretty good, but wooden spoons work really well. I've used that too. A spatula, anything. You're just stirring it. So you stir it up, yeah, so you'll see there's flour in there. You're just kind of getting it like a little moist consistency. You want it to kind of look like, if you make pancakes, you want it to kind of look like pancake mixture. So it's a little chunky, you know, it's not smooth. You don't want to over mix it, but you also want to get some air bubbles in there. So then I will scrape the sides of the jar too. This jar is looking a little rough. I probably should wash this jar and switch them over, but we're not doing that today. So I'll scrape the side so I can kind of see through it. I can see where he's at. And what I'm going to do here is I use this rubber band. I'm just going to mark where he's at, because then I can kind of pay attention to when he rises. So I'm going to wait until he gets about this much up, because that's about what I fed him. Some people will say double in size, and sometimes I will wait that long. But because I didn't feed him how much he already had in there, he might not double in size. And you can see he's looking really good. There's already like bubbles in there. That means that like he's already eating what I just gave him, which means he's really healthy. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him in a warm spot in my kitchen. And I have learned that my kitchen is actually really cold. So he gets a little upset, and sometimes it takes him a long time to rise, and it takes my bread a long time. So sometimes I'll put him in the oven. I used to put him in the oven with a light on, but my light went out and I need to replace it. So I don't do that, but sometimes I do still put him in the oven. or sometimes I'll just put them on top of the oven. Sometimes I'll even turn the oven on, but then put them on top of the oven, and that works too. Today, we're just gonna put them on top of the oven and see how long it takes. So once he's grown about this much, that's when we're gonna put together the bread. And like I said, I'm just gonna make a basic artisan loaf. So that's what we're doing with Glenn today. All right, I'll see you for another video.